well, why are we shooting this documentary series? Because we want you to know more about the people that are involved in IZZY, both in the day-to-day and also the guest appearances. And also we want you to see what it's like to build an Israeli startup and a streaming company that then you get to go and turn on and watch from wherever you are in the world. Hebrew is the magic key that everyone doesn't think they need, because everyone, especially in places like Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, they speak English, but you have to force yourself. You know, in most countries, you would have to, you know, if you move to like a remote city in like Mexico, you'd have to learn Spanish. You'd have to. You wouldn't have a choice because no one speaks English. Here, it's a crutch, and if you use it as a crutch, then, you know, you're 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out. The minute that I understood that Hebrew was this magic bullet, if you will, is the minute my life went to the next level in this country. And my life was good before. It's not like your life is going to be bad here, but it's all about understanding that even though you don't need it, you want it. And once you have it, and it becomes a virtuous cycle where you learn it a lot easier, you remember words without having to memorize them, you know, you can interact with people, game changer. It's about going from good to great, I'm telling you. Yeah. What I've seen in my peers, and even a little bit of myself, is you always have this plan B. And I always tell people, if you have a plan B, you give yourself the option to fail. And if your plan B...
That's what I say!
Yeah.
Yes, thank you! Yes!
And I'm not saying don't plan and don't have reserves. What I'm saying is, if you're going to decide to stay in Israel for whatever reason, don't say, well, if it doesn't work out, I can always go back to the States. Say, I'm making my decision to stay here. It's not a lifetime contract, but it is my decision for the moment. And now, what do I have to do to make this decision a successful one? And then go do that. And don't think about, well, because you're always going to hit that bump in the road. It's just inevitable. That's life. And the first bump you hit, if you say, well, I can always go back, that's where your mind goes. It's getting hard now. It's not as fun as it used to be. The honeymoon stage is wearing off. I'll go back. But if you're saying, no, I'm fully prepared to deal with these obstacles, I foresaw some of them ahead of time. Like what I was talking about on the call last Thursday, you know, like you're going to get punched in the face. Yeah. The question is, do you accept the fact that you're going to get punched in the face?
How do you respond?
Or are you going to be surprised by it? Because if you're surprised, you might get knocked out. Yeah. And it's just about, I think, being mentally prepared to understand, yeah. Because once you understand it's going to happen, then you know, there's a great book that I read, The Obstacle is the Way. And it's all about saying, okay, an obstacle comes, whether you foresaw it or not, and now that's the new path. That's the detour, then maybe you get back on the main road, but for the time being, you got to deal with that detour. And now that's your new way to the goal, to the destination that you want to reach.
When I decided to go to music school or like want to pursue the artist life, my entire family freaked out. And they're like, okay, well, if that doesn't work, what's your backup? And I said, I don't have a backup, because if I do, then that means I've already given up on myself. But I mean, here I am. Now I'm in Israel, working at an incredible company, learning more about myself than I ever could imagine during a global pandemic. Like, it's amazing where life will lead you and crazy stuff.
No, I'm proud of you. I mean, you're young, but you already have I would call it the self-confidence. You know, that you just trust yourself, that maybe you don't have, you can't always see what's to come, but you made a decision. I can just see it, like you're really at peace with it, and like you really believe in yourself. And that's the key in life, is if you believe in yourself, then you can never believe that the decisions you make are right, because you never know. There's that great quote by Steve Jobs: you can never connect the dots moving forward, you can only connect them moving back. And so basically, as long as you believe that you have what it takes and you're willing to do what it takes to deal with whatever may come of your decisions, then you'll figure it out because you believe in yourself. And that belief in oneself transcends everything. And it no longer becomes about the decisions, it becomes about you and how you deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where my belief in self came from, and I don't have it in every single thing in my life. But when it comes to like business and like, I don't know, just certain things in my life, like I just feel like there's a little bit of cockiness in there, which I try to dial down, but at the same time, you know, you just have to trust that you can figure it out. Everything's figure-outable. אבל אני רוצה לעבור, אז או תתקדם קצת או לא?
אח שלי, יש פה משאית, מה אתה רוצה
אבל יש לך עד המשאית 20 מטר.
כן.
לא, אבל אני רוצה להתקדם הלאה.
קודם כל תפתח לי את המעבר, זה לא...
סליחה.
בסדר, שהוא יפתח
He doesn't want to be a friar. That's what they call it in Hebrew. He doesn't want to be a sucker. So he's staying there so he can check all his options.
Oh.
That's some Israeli culture for you. Every business that I've started, I've always thought brand first. Again, it's not to take away from the product or the service. You have to be great across the board. But I've always thought brand first because ultimately, first of all, the brand transcends products. So when you focus on the brand, you may have a product today, but that product may or may not fail. And when you have the brand, it allows you to bring in other products potentially that can fit under that brand. If you're always focused on the product or service, then that's it. And if that thing fails, then there is nothing, you know, you have no wiggle room. So that's something that I would really try to, you know, anyone that's going into business, marketing, focus on the brand.
Yeah.
Focus on that deep customer appreciation, which is what I think a brand is. And at the same time, focus on building the best product or service so that they speak to each other. You know what I mean? They complement each other. And that's the point of this vlog too, this video, this documentary series. It's like, it's all, you know, we're not selling IZZY. You know, I'm not telling you, hey, go sign up for a subscription. I'm saying, get a peek behind the door of what it means to run a startup, understand the people that are involved in this, both in the day-to-day and our guest appearances, like right now with the Jerusalem Post. And that's all brand. That has nothing to do with product or service.
Yeah.
Now, in the same token, we treat this documentary series as one of our products. And you don't pay for it. You watch it for free, but you pay with your attention. You pay with your time. And I believe in the digital world that we now live in, time and attention as a currency is just as valuable as money.
Absolutely.
And they call it the attention economy.
Awesome.
I've started a few other online businesses in my time. There's a reason why I started IZZY, because the other ones obviously either didn't succeed at all or didn't succeed to the level that I wanted to, that I said it was worth continuing with that. So I failed many times. And failing is about learning. That's also a great way to learn, is to fail. It's all a learning process. You know, I'm 31. Like, I didn't have these tools and these thought processes when I was 21 or 25 or 29. But the one thing that's been consistent since I graduated college was try, fail, or don't succeed to the utmost potential, learn, rinse and repeat. And that to me is what this is all about. It's not about, oh, IZZY's now a successful up-and-coming streaming platform. It's about all the times that I went out there, wasn't afraid to fail, wasn't afraid to put myself out of my comfort zone, and you're just seeing that come to fruition now with IZZY. It's off to a great start. People love it. There's a lot of room for improvement, but I'm not sitting here and saying IZZY succeeded. IZZY has been successful up to this point in our short lifetime, but don't get romantic about your success because here today, gone tomorrow. So we just worked as hard as we've been working, you know, from day one. We are always challenging ourselves to be better, and not taking anything for granted. Hello everyone, I'm Josh Hoffman, the founder of IZZY, alongside Dorit Imbar, who's the executive director of Israel's new fund for cinema and television, one of the 5 main film funds in Israel, also known as the NFCT. And we're coming to you from Tel Aviv in a conversation with somebody who you might not get to meet or see, you know, on the big screen, so to speak, but definitely a major player in the space, both Dorit and her experience, which she'll tell you about today, also the NFCT as one of the main film funds in Israel. And we really look forward to bringing you more of the characters and the different players in the Israeli entertainment industry, not just the people that you see on the big screen. So talk to us about what attracted you to Israeli cinema, TV, entertainment. It sounds like you have a lot of opportunities, but being the executive director of the NFCT, what attracted you to that position, to the industry in general?
You know, cinema and television, and actually all video materials, doesn't matter what platforms are shown at, I think are the most important materials in the world these days, and it's not new, it's the same for years now, and it's not only because it's the easiest to use. It's also a very compelling material that draws the attention of both young and old people, and as such, it has a huge influence on people. And so it's not only the art, and it's certainly the 21st century's art, the art of the 21st century, but it's not only that, it's also communication, it's also transferring and spreading knowledge, it's also creating understanding and not only understanding but also tolerance. And it doesn't mean necessarily that people will change their opinions, but the effect of these materials is so strong, and not only logical. It's not only, you know, picking your brains. It also goes to the heart, and it has an emotional influence. So it's a very, very strong to educate.
There's a lot you said there that I think certainly at IZZY we can relate to, because first of all, you talked about exposing different viewpoints, different people, different backgrounds. You know, we feel that's a core part of our mission to enhance the world's relationship with Israel, that sometimes you only see certain viewpoints or certain aspects of Israeli culture and society that's shown abroad, whether it's the IDF, whether it's the religious aspects of this country, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and anyone that's been here for even a short period of time knows there's so much more than those things. Those things exist, and often they exist in significant amounts, but there's also arts and entertainment and food and fashion and history and all types of other things that have nothing to do with conflict and war and friction. And so the second thing you said that really resonates with us too is, you know, everyone should have a fair opportunity to express themselves and express their art. And you know, we look at ourselves as a platform, not a channel. A channel has a very clear, focused agenda or viewpoint that they want to share with their audience, and that's fine. We look at it and we say, you know, we're not the ones who say this Israeli filmmaker can tell his story, but this one can't because we agree with his political viewpoints or his religious viewpoints, but we don't agree with hers, or vice versa. To us, anyone can come to IZZY and build on the platform, regardless of your viewpoints, regardless of your upbringing, where you come from, Israeli, Palestinian, American, Argentinian, Jewish, not Jewish, religious, not religious, old, young, and let the audience be the judge of the art, of the stories, and of the message.